We've made it to the Earth Temple. Hey everyone, and welcome back to more Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Previously, we made the rest of the way up to the Elden Volcano, the true one this time. We were inside the smaller one, and now we're inside the temple where presumably Zelda lies. As we know, last time she went to a spring, she's heading to another one to cleanse her body. This is apparently the way she went. We have to chase her down. This time, that's exactly what we're doing. So let's get to it. As I mentioned, and as you could probably tell, if you did not get the metal shield, as I said, either don't bring one at all, but at this point, I would really strongly recommend trying to get 100 rupees to get said metal shield. Sorry about that, that was my dog hitting the curtains, or not the curtains, the blinds of my window. If you heard that sound in the background. Up here we have a small chest, and some little bit of money. At this point, hopefully if you made the whole trek up and you kind of followed what I was doing, you made a little bit of cash on the way up. If you played that minigame, tried to make some money, you got 100 rupees. Buy the shield. It's nice to have. It'll help you a lot. Trust me, it makes combat just a little bit less dangerous. Here we have more fire keys, and we have a magma back there. As you can see, by the way, the fire keys, their eyes turn green when they're ready to attack, rather than the typical red that the normal keys do. So you actually, just a small little detail. I believe those are more hearts in that one, so we don't have to check. We have some money here, which we'll grab. Again, we might as well. We have a lot of storage now for money. We might as well use it. My partner's gone missing, and those red guys were everywhere. I never should have come here. Oh, it's you again. Going all this way searching your friend, eh? That reminds me, before I came in here, I saw a weird-looking blonde girl get dragged away. Ugh, don't even dream about going to the rescue. These baddies are everywhere. Well, live again. One day, you should head home, pal. Okay, so it seems like the monsters got a hold of Zelda, which is not good. That definitely puts a pep in our step, to be sure. I'm glad I took some extra time to play Minesweeper on the way up. That definitely helps. So here are these platforms that'll get raised by the lava. You just gotta time your way over. Oh, that was close. I thought he almost hit us into the lava there for a second. We're in this spot here at this gate, and you can see there's these ropes here. All you have to do is lash down on them. That'll lower the drawbridge, which is interesting. This is another thing to keep in mind, a new mechanic as we head into this dungeon. In terms of preparation, outside of the metal shield, is there anything I'd really recommend bringing here? No, outside of the revitalizing potion. I would bring one of these. It doesn't have to be upgraded, but I'd bring one because especially I'd really recommend relying on your shield this time. There's a lot of enemies that hit harder and are a lot more difficult to combat, especially if you're not still super comfortable with the combat controls. This last rope here may be one that throws you for a loop, but just remember we still have the beetle from the last dungeon. Just because we're in a new dungeon doesn't mean we need to use all the new gizmos to get by. Sometimes we can rely on the old stuff too. That will allow us to fully get rid of the lower the drawbridge. And here we have... Really? Master, I'm detecting new enemies ahead. They appear to be creatures of very significant physical ability, yes. Press L, target the enemy, call me and I will share any data with the enemy, yes. Up here is a Lizalfos, another very famous enemy in the Zelda series, and they are no pushovers, as she said and as I was saying. As you can see, what they will do is they have these giant stone arms. They will protect them from a bunch of slashes. You need to have it so that they guard themselves and then hit them in the opposite direction. They are not that hard once you get used to it, but they can be annoying. They are essentially a reaction-based combat. So we hit them once, see what their stance is, counter. If they go for that tail attack, you can counter with your shield to simply get a few extra hits, and maybe I can show that later. But for this, we got a lizard tail. It's a tail of a large lizard with a spiked ball at the end of it. Sure, it's a little gross, but you never know what you might need one. Yep, and that's another piece of loot, meaning we are only missing 4 more pieces of loot, which is not bad. Yeah, Lizalfos are tough enemies. This is why I really recommend bringing a metal shield. Don't bring the wood one, bring the metal one. Get the metal one. I cannot strongly recommend that enough. We need these. Thank you. Because, again, Lizalfos aren't that tough once you get used to them, but if you're still not comfortable with it, they can be rather tough. Here, you can either use the beetle if you want. Actually, you know what? We'll use the beetle to show that off. You'll want to hit these bombs on this statue here to ignite them. And you can use, again, oh, there we go. You can use the slingshot, but either way, that will blow up said statue. I don't know what it is with eyes in this Zelda game. We had the eye enemies, and now we're rolling on a statuette of an eye. So yeah, what happens is if you run and jump onto the ball, you'll actually start controlling the ball that's on the lava and lets you get across it. However, be careful if you're getting too fast and you don't slow down too much, you can actually roll off on the other end into the lava. It's not all that complicated, but again, you do have to get a little used to it. Oh, so I didn't mean to do that. And I'm going to wait for it to come back down. And then the other thing is when you get close to a surface like the ground here, you press A and it'll let you jump off the platform. It's a little tricky to get used to it. Oh, dang it. But it's not anything like super bad. Dang it. It's not anything super bad. You just gotta get a little used to it. And once you get used to it, it's not that bad. I know I just kind of said the same thing like 12 times there. I don't know what that was all about. Let's see if I can throw it in a bit of a better direction. Did that roll off the other edge? No, it didn't. Okay, thank you. Yep, so we can throw that up there, and eventually the lava will do the heavy lifting for us. Got it, because it lifted it up. And will help bring that bomb to its location, and in turn allow us to have access to this chest. And this chest will give us not an ornamental skull, a golden skull. A real rarity among skull ornaments. It shines with an eerie golden color. Yep. So if you haven't gotten one yet, that's the first one from a chest that we've gotten so far. That's our second one, though, in total. Again, not necessary, but it's a nice and rare treasure. Might as well grab it. It's not that far out of the way, and it's really nice to have these rare treasures later so you don't have to try to go out of your way for them. Let's go this way. I actually don't remember for sure. For some reason, I thought there was some motion controls involved with this in the original game, though I'm not 100% sure if that's true. Oh, keys. You can still use your sword while on here, so in case you're curious, in case keys are after you, that's not the end of the world. Here we have a magma spume. These odd creatures require a home in the magma that stores and processes gas reduced by the magma into a flaming projectile that spits out. Yep. Cowardly by nature, they are hard to kill. With pretty much our tools available to us, we have nothing that can fight them as it is. But what we can do, if you couldn't tell by what I'm trying to do to him here, is you can chase them down, and if you get close enough, come on. Almost have it. Oh, he's got to cut him off. We can cut him off here. Yep, there you go. You can crush them. As terrible of a way as that is to go, it's really our only way of taking them out. We have another chest over here, this time containing... You got a blue bird feather. Very few small birds possess a sky blue plumage, making these feathers extremely rare. Yep, they're just giving us rare treasure at this point. That one's even less out of the way than the other one in my mind, since I have to come over here anyway. But again, you might as well grab those. They are not needed in a ton of upgrade recipes. But what's nice about them is since they aren't needed in a ton, you only need a few. And with any extras, you can sell them to the night market guy. And as I mentioned, they are worth a ton. I believe it's like 100 rupees for one. So if he's selling them and you have quite a few, that is a really good way to make some money. If you're willing to, of course, you know, use your time on that. Here you have these lever-looking things that are, or piston-looking things, I should say, attached to this bridge here. And in hitting, that was close. And in rolling the ball into them, you can actually, as you can see, it'll raise the other one. So that's what I was doing there, in case you're curious. How would you figure that out? Well, you can target them, and I think Fee will probably give you a hint in case you are kind of, you know, needing that hint. But I'm all the hints you'll need. I have a more annoying voice than Fee, if that's even possible. So we're heading now over to this direction. I did the left side first because it's mostly just a bunch of loot and stuff. You know, you don't have to go too far out of your way for it. You have another one of these guys. As you can see, they'll try to run away. Oh, there you go, almost fell off. If you are almost falling off, don't panic. Just don't let go of the control stick and let Link readjust himself. That's all you need to do. You don't need to panic. Just keep cool, and you should be good. Blast, you must have dropped it earlier. Hey, nice timing, pal. It's me, Led. You showing up here must mean you're connected somehow. You know, like fate or something. Anyway, do me a favor and get my bomb bag, okay? I was behind that rock looking for treasure when these creeps showed up. I panicked and hit the road, but looks like I dropped it. It's a bag for carrying around bomb flowers. Can't imagine not having one. Oh, hey, I guess I don't have to imagine it because I lost mine. Anyway, it's back there. Do me a favor and get my bomb bag back, will you? Bomb bag back, please. Okay, that was a bit of a tongue twister, yep. So, we're gonna, you know, go out of our way to help a little bit if we can. Not gonna go too far out of our way, though. Again, Zelda sounds like she was captured by goblins. We have to hope to get to her fairly quickly. Going up here, you can mine a few pots, and I believe one of these has a fairy in it, or has a chance to have a fairy in it. Not sure. Ooh, there's like an area over there. Or maybe it's over there that has the fairy. I thought there was a fairy up here for some reason. Not sure if that's actually true or not. Let's check. Oh, let's check up here. I'm gonna scroll down. Yep, there it is. Let's say, yep. So if you want a fairy, if you used one already, or if you have an empty bottle at this point, grab that there. I probably should have just drank the red potion at this point and grabbed the fairy, but it's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, grab a bomb, roll it down there, and hopefully that'll blow up. Yep, there we go. Blow up that rock and allow us to progress forward, which is nice. Since, again, we can't dig under the ground the way they can. We can dig, we just can't go in the ground. Nice work rolling bomb flowers through that. There's the mark of a real professional adventurer. Keep it and go grab my bomb bag. Yep. Seems like he lost it this way. Maybe something for us in the deal if we can. I mean, to be fair, one, he gave us a hint, I guess, earlier, but maybe he can give us some other stuff. And immediately, they're going to test your skills. Remember when I said that Lizalfos weren't that hard? Well, guess what? Now you're fighting two of them. Because, you know, that's progression of difficulty. Oh, God. It's terrifying, cracking the knuckles and all that. Yep, two of them, which is kind of a cool callback to Ocarina of Time if you played that one, even if you're familiar with the series. So as you can see, fighting two is a completely different ball game. As I mentioned, they are not difficult by any means, but when there's 2, that changes things a little bit. Mostly because you want to make sure you keep one on the ground, and then you focus your energy on the other one. Keeping them on the ground is your best strategy. Oh, but they do have a lot of health if you're not careful. As you can see, you can potentially finish them off if you just target one, which isn't that hard to do, but it's just annoying because you want to make sure you're not letting them counter you as much as possible. Oh, they didn't notice that. Oh, shield got hit there. Not even really sure how, actually, to be honest with you. Oh, there we go. Got him. Thankfully, as you can see, their AI for some reason makes them run away every now and then. I'm curious if it's probably because their AI is trying to make them use their fire breath attack, which is one you saw there. But either way, not super difficult, but definitely is a jump up from fighting 1. So, you know, to say the absolute least anyway. And by the way, those tails, in case you're curious, no, they are not a rare drop. In fact, I believe it's 100% guaranteed to drop from Lizalfos. So that doesn't mean they're not valuable. Just, you don't have to pray on RNG to get them. You found a bomb bag. You can store bombs in this bag and carry them with you to use later. Now that you can carry bombs with you, there's a good chance you can get to places you haven't explored yet. Let's see if Lead will lend it to you. Yep, so we got a new item, maybe. If Lead will be nice enough to let us borrow it, we'll have to see. It would be nice to be able to carry bombs with us, considering we've seen rocks and stuff we haven't been able to interact with otherwise. And also, bombs are just, you know, explosives. They're nice. You can do a lot of things with bombs. Not in a... Don't use bombs in real life, though, kids. Don't do that. Hey, you found my bomb bag. Sorry I put you through that. I guess I owe you one now, so let me have it. What's this now? You want to borrow it so you can go deeper into the volcano? Alright, you're looking for your friend. Sure, put yourself out there again this far. That reminds me, how's my pal? He's, worried. To say the absolute least. He's worried about me. What kind of pal am I for putting him through that? You must be worried too, not knowing if your friend's dead or alive. I'm not letting you borrow my bag, though. Nope, I'm giving it to you. Just don't blow yourself up. Man, what a nice guy. We actually were giving it to us. You got a bomb bag. Len was kind enough to give it to you, so make sure you take good care of it. Yep, what a nice guy. Now you've got my bomb bag. Go find your friend. Yes, indeed. And that was a super nice of him. Hold up, I forgot to tell you something. No, me. That box probably empty, so let me give you a little something to get you started. Not only that, you got 5 bombs. Throw them or roll them to blow up or even hard objects. Try to pick up and store them whenever you come across any. If you run out of bombs, just find some more and fill them into your bag. Whenever you got a bomb flower, press B to put in your bag. Don't forget, the bag can hold up to 10 bombs, so if you run across bomb flowers, be sure to fill up that bag. Yep. I keep saying yep just as a way of kind of confirming what he's saying. I don't know why. It's a bad habit of mine. But as he said, you can actually grab bombs from bomb flowers and put them in your bomb bag, making bombs a little bit easier to come across. Since you don't have to chop down grass for them or buy them, you can come to find a plant and just, you know, keep grabbing one because they'll regrow. So as long as you find one plant, you essentially have infinite bombs, which is insanely nice. And now having bombs allows us to get around to different areas, as he said, and we were able to help them, at least, you know, find each other and make sure they were safe. So at the very least, we were able to help them in their own way too. Let's head over to this direction, because we couldn't really go this way safely earlier. Hello there. Let me get him. Oh, another piece. There we go. Thankfully, the fact that these guys run away give us some time if Akis decides to bother us, since they're going to want to go a little bit further than, you know, just like 2 feet or whatever. This spot here has a crack that, again, kind of blends in with the wall. So I wouldn't blame you if you missed this, but if we throw 2 bombs at it... 2 bombs at it... it will reveal the way forward. This is why you actually have to go get that bomb back first, because you can't bring a bomb, of course, all the way over here otherwise. We'll have to watch out for that lava spewing out, because that can, in fact, hit us. Oh, there's that guy. Want to watch out for him. And there he goes. Got him, and jumped out. I think, yep, we should be good to go this way. Have more bombs here we can pick up. Store that. Store that. There we go. And we have more digging spots. A health spot. And is this a money spot? What is this spot? That's an enemy spot! I want to be careful not to hit the bombs there, either, with my sword. That'd be, like, one of the worst things to do. So, we'll want to be careful here, but we can go past this. We just got to get the right spot. There we go. And here I'm actually going to jump off and take care of this bokoblin, mostly because I just don't want him wiggling around and potentially hit us. Ooh. Sorry about that, buddy. I mean, I wanted you gone, but that probably was a painful way to go. Ugh. Over here we have another crack that kind of blends in. Bam, and bam. Again, thank goodness you can get bombs now from the plants. Otherwise, it's so annoying only having to work with like 5 right away, especially when you have to use like 2 in one spot. Here at this dragon statue, get out the beetle and launch it in there. This isn't a demand. I just recommend it, I should say. I strongly recommend doing this. I'm not demanding it by any means. After maneuvering through this tight corridor, you can collect a silver rupee. And I already mentioned what these are worth. That is 100 rupees right there, just lining that little tunnel. It is very much well hidden, and it is one that, if you passed up, don't worry about it. It's kind of meant to be well hidden. It's supposed to be for those who check every corner. There's nothing else in there you need to grab, and it's not necessary. But it does, you know, it's 100 rupees. Why wouldn't you want to grab it? It's not out of the way by any means, really. Again, you just have to do a little bit of some time maneuvering, and then you got it. As you can see, when they... Oh, I'm probably gonna hit there, yeah. Unfortunately. Oh, I think I deflected that one, actually. Nice. You can deflect it, or you can just use your shield, fine. Can't really put the fire out, unfortunately, because I'm on the boulder or whatever. Makes them quite annoying at times, but thankfully it wasn't that bad by any means. Here we have yet another spot we're going to have to use our beetle at to cut that rope. You can see it there, yep. Fortunately, you know, didn't call it back in time, but that's fine. You know, it's probably fine. So now that we... Yep, I knew I was going in the lava there. I knew I had a weird angle. Yep, jumping at it can be a little weird at times, but, you know, it's fine. It's 1 heart. He needs it. We have a potion anyway, and it's not a great potion. How many hearts does this one fill anyway? Like, not that much, so I think we're fine. If we try to head forward, you may look around and notice, well, I mean, there's a spot up there. Can't really get up there, though, unfortunately. Let's keep looking around and see what we can come across. As you can see, there's actually a, another piece of rope there on the other side. This is something that, again, I feel like this is probably a bit of a tougher puzzle, just because you may not think to do this. The beetle can go surprisingly far. Even though I did mention there is a distance of how far it can go fairly far, including far enough to actually make it to the other side and cut the rope, which may not be something you think to do. Because, again, you're taught that the beetle can only go so far, you may not think to scout ahead. Take this as a lesson to start scouting ahead. If you're ever lost on a puzzle and you're playing this game blind, or if you just forget what to do, the beetle's actually a really nice way to make sure you kind of are keeping up with where you need to be and stuff like that. Because it is a good way of looking around and being able to check spots that you may not have access to currently. It's really useful. We're going to go up here, not because we need to, but because I want to. And I also want to take out these guys who we scared off with our beetle, who are up here for seemingly no reason. Don't really know why they'd be up here, maybe just a scout of some kind. Presumably they're the ones, though, I guess, who closed it. There's also another statue here you can mark if you want to. Or you can save at, you know, if you need to. Now we got past that, though. Here we have another statuette. This time you can't put the beetle in it. As you can see, there's no tunnel beneath it, but there is lava that will, in fact, come launched out at us and try to hit us. This reminds me of Mario Galaxy. If anyone played Mario Galaxy, you probably are semi-aware of what I'm talking about. As intimidating as this looks, I just recommend panning the camera down like this. I know they say don't look down, but I feel like it's much easier. It is not that hard of a segment. It is definitely intimidating, but once you kind of have a good view of it, it really is not that bad. At least in my opinion. But again, if it does cause you some trouble, don't worry about it. Up ahead, it seems like we made it to the other side. In case you're curious about why we took such a long detour, it's because we actually couldn't get past onto this side. If you see, there was these pillars and stuff in the way. The ball is too big, yes. The sphere is too large to get across. As you can see there, that was the deflect I was talking about with that tail, which is nice. Sometimes if you're in a bad spot, you can kind of get a really unfortunately timed area. But yeah, we couldn't get across because that pillar and stuff was in the way, and the ball just couldn't go around it. So you have to kind of go this long route just to get to this other side. Take that guy out. On this side, we have yet another 20 rupees, which is nice. Again, more money. See, we're already doing pretty good on cash, but thankfully we can hold another 1,000. More health we don't need, but that's fine. And the main reason we went through all that trouble is so we can hit this side of the piston-looking thing. And push that in. There we go. And not only that, but now you can actually get around to the other side. In case there was anything you missed with this ball and you don't have to go through that entire route, as you can see, you can actually go back that way. Which is, again, kind of nice. But there is nothing else we need to do on that side. Oh, baby! What I do want to do is go over here. And now that we have the bomb bag, we can actually go this direction and blow up this little rock here. Well, I say little, but it's quite massive, actually. We can get to this side and get to another Lizalfos. Push him out of the way, fling him up, and Fatal Blow. Especially once you do the, like, spin attack upwards, they are pretty easy to take out. But again, they can be intimidating and certainly are tough. In terms of the enemies, they're probably the toughest normal enemies we've come across so far. What is this? That is terrifying. As you can see, of course, we don't have the dungeon map yet, which is unfortunate, so we can't really see where this is in relation to anything, nor can we see any of the chests or anything we may have potentially missed, but that's fine. Still trying to be as thorough as possible as we go. I may actually want to save those in case there's hearts in there, considering this area looks quite dangerous. And that it is. We have no more bokoblins here on the sides. Thankfully, we can take care of them fairly easy. Now we actually have a way of combating some of these guys. If you're close enough to them, you can throw a bomb at them, it'll blow up on the lava, and it'll take them out. This is the only real way for us to take them out, outside of finally having used to talk about this in combat. The Skyward Strike can be used if they are close enough. I don't like this as much as the bombs personally, because you have to hit them twice, and it has a little bit less range, but guess what? Yes, the Skyward Strike has used outside of just activating ancient, like, symbols and stuff like that, so that's kind of cool. I'll use it here just to conserve our bombs and to use it, because again, the Skyward Strike is useful in combat. It's just, I find myself not really needing it. Not because it's not useful or not because I'm amazing or anything, just because it's kind of a slow startup, and by the time that, you know, it's usually going to occur, it's like, I could just hit it with a spin attack or something, you know. But it has range, and you know, that range here, at least, is kind of helpful. I mean to pull out my shield, a scratch in my head. And here we have more bokoblins. You can see they're guarding a chest. Take out that one. Spin attack to get all the ones off me who are now surrounding me. I'll pin it, hope I can target one. Fortunately, it's not. Take him out of here and get him out of here. Compared to Lizalfos, you guys are nothing. I am above you, bokoblins, now. And what were they guarding oh so diligently, I wonder? I was just complaining about it. You got the dungeon map. It shows the layout of the area and reveals unexplored rooms. Yep, so now we can see the rest of the dungeon there, which it seems like there may not be a ton left. Which, you know, that's something. Nothing there. More hearts. Don't really need them. Pots. Do either of you have a fairy? If so, I may... Nope, no, they do not. Okay, well, it was worth checking. So, yep, there's nothing else in here outside the dungeon map, and if you're playing along, and I'm showing you all the chests, you do not... Why didn't I jump there? Why didn't Link jump? But yes, it's just the dungeon map in here and a few enemies to fight. There's nothing you absolutely need to come in here for, but again, I want to show all the stuff, and the map is useful, even though people will say it's not. Do one of you have a heart for me, please? I've heard saving you in case. Please? Yes, thank you. See, that's why you gotta be a little conservative sometimes with your materials, because you never know when you may need them later. Anyway, with that, we are now... I think we've... Yeah, the map said... for a second, I even thought, is it minus or plus? I still clicked the wrong one. As you can see, there's only one chest left in the entire dungeon. So, presumably, we know what that may be. And we have no reason, really, to go back for anything, since I think we've grabbed everything. We now can go up this area and progress forward. More pots. Any of you have a fairy? Again, if they have a fairy, I may just use the healing potion, even though I don't need it, just because it's technically just a not as good fairy. The normal one is, and I didn't upgrade it. If I upgraded it, then it would be better than a fairy from the aspect it heals more hearts, but that's besides the point. Nothing on, oh, no, there is something on the sides. Especially the fire temple. Since they gave you the digging mitts recently, you'll want to always look around like corners and stuff, because there could be a few digging spots. We can get a little bit of extra money or a little bit of extra materials, depending on, you know, just how lucky you are. What is this? This does not look safe. It's a steep area, so you know that means we're going to have to run up it. And those are rocks! Yep, this is in fact a lawn trap. You do not have enough stamina to make one consecutive run up it. You have to take a break at one of these spots! I didn't mean to do that! But yes, you have to make a break at one of these spots. And unfortunately, the rocks aren't just like something you disarm. They can be refilled and they respawn, so you do have to dodge them, unfortunately. But once you make your break, you get your your stamina back. You just got to make 2 runs up it. Nothing super difficult, but it certainly is not fun. Here, we're going to want to go over here to the side. This little spot we can. Right there, I'll check more of those later. That is a updraft, okay. We have more bombs here, and as he said, we might as well refill them. If you find them and you're missing even just one bomb, why not take the time to pick it up? Because you never know when you're going to need a bunch in one go, and the last thing you want to do is miss a bomb. Like, you know, you're missing one bomb for like a secret or something, and then you have to come back for it later, and you're going to forget. Just, what's the point? So we're going to take out a bomb, and we're going to throw it in that direction. And hopefully... Ooh, barely clipped the edge of it. You can blow up those rocks there and actually create a safe spot, which is why you have to come up here, because otherwise, as I said, the stamina isn't enough to make one clear break up there. You have to do this. And unfortunately, even though it looks like you should be able to backflip off that, nope, you have to go all the way back down, which I was going to say sucks, but we did use one bomb, and as I was literally was trying to make an argument for, there's no reason to not go and, you know, replace any bombs you missed. It's kind of whatever at that point. A moot point, you could say. So here, yep, we have to make a little run up here to the safe area. We'll wait for the rocks to pass by, and then we'll make a rush up. As you can see, there's a whole line of big rocks there. You have to take that break there. They made sure, even if somehow you brought like 12 stamina potions or something, you had to make that spot there. They wanted you to do their puzzle the way they wanted to, dang it. Well, if that ain't a suspicious-looking door, and if that ain't a huge old dragon face, presumably... Unfortunately, we can't douse Zelda's aura, but it does seem like... seems like Zelda aura is, in fact, right in that direction, so that may be the right way. Another statue here, and some stairs that are broken on one side. That's never a good sign. Stamina flowers, not a good sign either. They're trying to be nice to us. There's always ulterior motive. Music kind of cuts off. But never mind. This actually is nice of them. Considering it's the same ornate chest we saw in the first dungeon, unless they're aligned to us, hopefully we know what this means. You got the dragon sculpture. It is a carving of a coiled dragon made out of dazzling gold. Yep, so that is in fact, as I mentioned, kind of like the last gold sculpture, a key, which will hopefully let us open that door if we can finally pass the lava. Did I say finally pass the lava? I mean, if we get out of here alive at this point, because we're pulling a good old Indiana Jones. It is not nearly as intense as it seems. If you're running, as long as you kind of know the direction of which the path was, and thanks to the stamina fruit, you can just run down here really fast. It is not that scary, but here's a little bit of a fun fact. If you are to fail this, then it's an instant game over. Doesn't matter if you have a fairy, doesn't matter how much hearts you had going into it, you get crushed. Yes, Link, look down, realize that that was close to being your fate. Thankfully, it was not, though. And you can either run to the left or right there, or you can jump off from the front, I believe. I just like going off the side because it's a little bit quicker. But as you can see, we got lucky. The boulder also stopped the lava flow, which is nice, allowing us to make our way over here. Oh, so that was intended. I see. How advanced. Once again, just like last time, we're going to have to find the pattern for this. And thankfully, it isn't too complicated. It's more so complicated just trying to make sure you know where your Joy-Con's currently at gyro-wise. Gyro-wise. Let's go chase after Zelda again. Hopefully this time we'll actually be close enough to save her, especially with the bokoblins and stuff after her that were taking her away, apparently. We just have to hope that we weren't too late. Only way is forward. Again, we gotta hope that we were here quick enough to save Zelda. Presumably that's the boulder that was chasing after us, which is interesting how mechanical this place is. More bombs in case you need to refill, and... Master, detect Zelda's aura in the surrounding area. I detect an especially strong reaction from this chain. I calculate the probability Zelda was bound to it at recently 95%. I surmise Zelda was somehow able to escape and proceeded along this path. I suggest we continue with all possible speed. Well, it seems like at least Zelda was not able to escape. That hopefully gives us a little bit of extra time to catch up with her, because we're going to need it. Oh, it's you. Let me see. No, that's not it. This is it. So very embarrassing, but I seem to be at a loss for your name. Not that it matters, really. To tell you the truth, I'm feeling a bit frustrated right now. I just need someone to vent to. I heard my underlings had finally captured the Spirit Maiden, so of course I rushed over here. What can I say? I was excited. Flustered, even. What did I find when I arrived? That agent of the goddess. She had once again... You see, what I'm trying to say is... That goddess-serving dog escaped with the girl! I must have the Spirit Maiden in order to resurrect my master. I must have her. I got a little carried away there, didn't I? I don't deal well with the complications to plans I've laid out so carefully. It's a character flaw of mine. No, but something good can still come from this day. I've had all this bottled up anger smoldering inside me, and now I can finally release it. There's someone special I'd like you to meet. Oh, don't be shy, I need to vent all this unhealthy anger, and your agony is such a great stress reliever. It won't take more than a few moments with my friend before you're charred to a satisfying crisp. And let me tell you that will put a spring into my step. He just regurgitated the same ball we already dodged. Oh, no. Oh, that wasn't that. Thankfully, they did it that time for us automatically. Oh, my lord. Pyroclastic Fiend, Scaldera. And Scaldera is a menace indeed. I recommend dropping a bomb down immediately, because once he runs into it, he will, as you can see, go flying all the way back down. And once he does that, he's going to start using a sucking. He's going to start, as you can see there, sucking up some air, and that's going to very swiftly, lead you hurt. Scaldera is definitely a weird fight comparatively to the one we just did, which was an on-on-one with Girahim. This time it's actually a bit more gimmicky like Zelda bosses usually are. What you want to do is get close enough to him so when he starts sucking up air, you can throw a bomb to his mouth. This will then leave his eyes semi-exposed. This is his weak spot. Do as much damage as you can during this time. That's your best bet. Drop another bomb down immediately in case he starts chasing after you immediately. This will hopefully slow him down just a little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. What you'll want to do is once you get down to around halfway of your bombs, so around to 5, you'll actually run all the way back up. It doesn't matter what he's doing, run all the way up. Because if you get up here, there are a ton of hearts and a ton of bombs to refill your bomb bag. Bombs are essential for this fight if you couldn't tell. It's the main source of how you get around. It's the main source of how you do pretty much anything. As you can see, you'll launch that fire all the way up at us if you're not careful, so you want to be, well, careful. Once you get a full bomb bag, in case you're curious, if you let him come all the way up to you, his feet will, well, blow himself up because he'll step on a bomb. So, unfortunately, it's a big flaw of his, it seems, kind of like Girahim's character flaw. And thankfully, it'll automatically set him to actually start sucking up air. He is gimmicky, yes, and he's definitely weird and one that may take some getting used to, especially if you're just running off the high of Girahim still and are still used to that fight, which was more casual and, you know, was using the game's main mechanics. This one's using similar mechanics, but it's also a lot more complicated in comparison. At least it's, you know, gimmicky. And thankfully, they set it up in a way that makes it not super complicated. Phase 2, he doesn't get a cutscene, but what he does get is he gets a lot faster, and as you can see, he'll actually go up on his hind legs. This will allow him to go over you and make him much more dangerous, because then he can get in front of you, and then he can just land on you, and yeah, it's not good. But what I was trying to say was, thankfully, even though he's gimmicky, they make it semi-easy by making it so that even if he gets up here on his own, he will still, you know, be at a weak spot then, and he'll start doing this fire attack. So he still can counter you and do some damage, but it's a little bit less dangerous overall. What I recommend doing for Phase 2 is staying up there, getting your bearings, letting him hurt himself, and then chasing after him with a lot of stamina. You just want to make sure you consume your stamina properly, and you should be able to get down here in time to throw another bomb and have him suck it up. Once you get down here, you, again, as I said, do as many hits to that eye as you can, because as much damage as possible is a good thing. He is a healthy, or a tanky guy, I should say. If you let him get in front of you, which I'll show here, as you can see, he's actually not going for you anymore. What is he doing? Well, he's trying to go ahead of you so he can try to run into you and burn you alive. It is pretty mean. You can dodge him if you are in the right spot at the right time. For example, if you're more to the left and you then last second start going to the right, you can dodge it away because he does start rolling in your direction. You want to be careful, but he is easy enough to dodge. Ow. Easy enough to dodge. This is why I'm thankful they give you a lot of hearts. You can come up here and you can take your time. Come up here, and we're going to refill our bomb bag. He's going to roll down. By the time we get down there, he would already probably be doing the sucking. So I think the sucking. I don't know any way to describe this that doesn't make it sound like super terrible. But we're just going to wait for him to come back up again. It's a bit of a patience game. It's not an amazing fight by any means, if I'm being honest with you, but it uses the bomb mechanic well enough, and it's not complicated to the point of it being annoying. It's just annoying because, well, it feels kind of cheap. Not because it's actually that hard, but because comparatively to what your skill level has been used to and what you've probably been getting better at, has nothing to do with any of the stuff you have to do in this fight outside of maybe hitting the eye. So that's about as much skill level as you get. There we go, though. Skill level or not, complicated or not, we took down the giant flaming meatball. It's kind of what he looks like to me. I'm sorry. Also, he looks like a little bit actually more like Mike from Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc., which is ironic because there's another boss in this game that kind of looks like a different character from Monsters, Inc., and I'll bring that up when we eventually get to it, but it'll be a while. Except that boulder that chased us down the first time, it seems like he tried to get his revenge, and it seemed like from those particles that came out at the end, that may have been from Girahim, actually, because that's the pattern he uses when he summons stuff and when he disappears. Either way, the spoils are ours. You got a heart container. Your life has increased by 1 and also is now fully replenished. Yep, so we have yet another heart. So we do get some goodies from it. Unfortunately, we do have to run all the way back up. But now that we fought off that guy, we were able to thankfully win that. We can restock our bomb bag, which you may want to while you're here. Again, there's no reason not to. Just make sure you're at the most of it. Let's go finally get Zelda. Link. You cannot go to him, Your Grace. Remember what we discussed. Restrain yourself. Focus on the task at hand. I have to go. I'm sorry, Link. Took you far too long to get here. Looking at you, I fear the goddess is mistaken in her choice of agents. If this failure is any indication, you have no hope of defending her grace from those who seek to assail her. Do my words anger you, boy? Do my words sting? Let them. If I had not come when I did, your Zelda would have already fallen into the hands of the enemy. The truth of it is, you were late. You were late, and you failed to protect her. I sent Zelda ahead to learn more of the fate in which she is destined to play a part. Listen well, Chosen One. If you wish to be of help to her grace, you must summon a shred of courage and face the trials laid out before you. Only when you've conquered the trials will you be of use to Zelda. No sooner. Am I understood? Who would have thought such a seemingly happy thing like a reunion between friends, especially after something so perilous, would be so disheartening? Unfortunately, maybe playing Minesweeper wasn't the best because she's probably right. We were late, you know. I mean, and she was already captured and stuff. We pretty much just got lucky this time. But unfortunately, luck is going to cut it. Going back here, there are more fairies. Once again, just like the last time, if you need them, grab them. However, there is no goddess cube this time, so you do not have to worry, presumably because there were so many on the outside. There's also no fairies, or not fairies, yeah, as I just showed fairies. There's also no birds, and nothing else really to see here. It's another calming area, though. But unfortunately, it's a little bit more disheartening than calming to me at this point. The words did sting, but as I stated, she was right. At the very least, tongue-in-cheek, we have to take it as it is. We were late, we have to improve. At the very least, we know for a fact Zelda's okay now. Someone's with her, and presumably, they are working for the goddess as well, hence their words and what they said. As she said, we have our own trials to face right now. And right now that starts with hitting this. Master, I have a message written in the language of the gods of old. Allow me to translate for you. From the edge of time, I guide you, the one destined to carry out the goddess's mission. The spirit maiden who descended from the clouds has passed through the earth spring and makes her way to a fated place. The parched desert of Lanayru. That is where the Chosen will pass through the gate of time into a distant world. You've got the amber tablet. The weathered surface of this heavy stone tablet feels very old.